everyone! I know, it's hard to believe. It's actually Izzy here. I'm filming a video. So I haven't filmed in probably like 3 weeks because I was at spring training. I did a podcast while there, but like I pre-filmed the videos that were uploaded while I was there. And then I got really, really sick, and I'm still sick. Like, I have everything you can be sick with. My stomach's messed up. I have a terrible cough. My throat's not as sore, but it does like get irritated. A stuffy nose, and yeah. Stuff was even coming out my eye. That's how bad it was. TMI, I know. But I'm doing my biggest book haul ever. I've had these books sitting here so long now, and I'm like, I'm wanting to film this video. And so all these books, some were used that I got from my grandma because she was just cleaning off her bookshelf and was like, here, take whatever you want. So that's what I did. And then the others are books that have come from subscription boxes and whatnot. So I think all these books are supposed to be in this pile because I have piles of books everywhere. So let's get into this video. I don't know how much info I'm gonna give on them just because I'm terrible. I don't like knowing stuff going into books. So first we have Owls of Storm and Sorrow Viper by Bex Hogan. I got this in the Fairy Loot box. They gave us 2 books this month, so I have no idea what this book is about. And then our main book is from that subscription is To Best the Boys by Mary Weber. It has sprayed edges, and this is like a maze like kind of story. They're in a maze. Yeah. And then our next one is one that I actually did by myself, and I bought it from the book thrift store on Amazon basically. And it's April Blood, Florence and the Plot Against the Medici by Laura Martins, and this is about the Patsy conspiracy, and basically it's about Lorenzo de Medici. I can't talk. Lorenzo's life, so that should be very interesting. So let's get our next stack of books. So I got Mary Boleyn, The Mistress of Kings by Alison Weir. I have read an Alison Weir book in the past, but this one is not historical fiction. This is a nonfiction novel about the life of Mary Boleyn. And I don't know if I've talked about it on YouTube, but I am a direct descendant of Mary Boleyn. So I wanted to read about my great grandmother. So our next one is The Odyssey by Homer. I'm trying to get the, these, I think it's by Penguin who's doing these kind of covers for classics. So I got that. And then the next 3 books I got on my trip when I was in Florida at spring training. I got these in St. Augustine because you have to go through St. Augustine to get to South Florida. So I didn't go to the Pirate Museum, but I did go to the gift shop, and I got this book that is Pirate Women, the Princesses, Prostitutes, and Privateers Who Ruled the Seven Seas by Laura Suk de Combe. Scottish last name, I think, but I have a hard time saying that. But this is what it says. It's about pirate women, and pirates fascinate me, and I do want to watch this show. It's on Stars, I think, and I can't think of the name. It's something Sells, but I am really fascinated by pirates. So our next book I got at the same place, and it is, I don't really know what it's about, but I thought it sounded cool. But it's Sweat of the Sun, Tears of the Moon, A True Story, Havana Connection edition, Captain Sid Jones. So I thought this took place like a long time ago, but I don't think it does. So now I'm just kind of like, not what I thought it was. But then this one I got at the Castillo, which is the fort in St. Augustine. It's The Hidden History of St. Augustine by Drew Sappington. And I've been to St. Augustine before this trip, and I wanted to take a kind of Renaissance pictures, and that's what I did. But our next one is another subscription, and it is DC Icon Superman by that's not who it's by Matt De La Pena, and this is a signed copy. Then we have our first pirate book that I got, which had been on my list. I don't know if it says anything on it. Oh, okay. And it is A Heart of a Pirate, a novel of Anne Bonny by Pamela Johnson. So I wanted to read this because Anne Bonny is from South Carolina, where I'm from. So I just wanted to read about people from my state. And the next one is about my all-time favorite musician, and that is Mr. Tom Petty. And this is his biography that was done by a friend of his. I remember when this book came out, like in 2015, and I almost bought it at Barnes & Noble, but I was like, and didn't. So I finally did get it, and I love Tom Petty. He is the one who got me into rock music, and again, he's from the South. He's from Florida, and yeah, so I love when people are from the South because I feel like I can relate to them more, and yeah. So our next book is Rosewater, which is by Tade Thompson, and this is about a town on the edge of a biodome, and just how that is. So then we had the Private Lives of the Tudors, Uncovering the Secrets of Britain's Greatest Dynasty by Tracy Borman. So it should be very interesting. They have tons of books on the Tudors at Barnes & Noble, and this is just the one that I picked out because Private Lives, interesting. So then we got Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This book, I don't know, the author kind of made me mad because of another book, which I brought it over here just to show y'all. She was saying like this author copied her name, the name of the book, and I'm like, literally Blood and Bone. It's like such a basic name, like anybody could use it. So Tomi Adeyemi, I don't know how I feel about you, but I don't judge a book or a song of if the artist has done something bad. But yeah, so this is a signed copy, and it's an African-inspired fantasy. Our next one is a huge one, and it is a biography on Leonardo da Vinci by Walter Isaacson. So self-explanatory, Leonardo da Vinci is obviously one of the most interesting people in history, in my opinion, and I can't wait to read that. So this one, that's not in the haul, I just brought it to show y'all. So Codename Variety by Elizabeth Wayne. This is a World War II one. And then from a subscription again is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmer. And this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. And now going into the used books that I got from my grandma. Do I say they're used? So this one actually wasn't in that stack, but my grandma read it recently and suggested for me to read it, and it is The Third Heiress by Brenda Joyce. And yeah, so I know some about it, but I don't know if it's too spoilery for booktube, so I'm not saying. So these are the same series. I don't remember which one came first. I think this one. But it's The Princes of Ireland, the Dublin Saga by Edward Rutherford. So these are two of the books. As I said, I'm not sure which one came first. And then this one's The Rebels of Ireland, the Dublin Saga. But it's just, basically it goes through the whole history of Ireland. And I read a book recently about Ireland, so that's why these are interesting. So this one is Abundance, a novel of Marie Antoinette by Senna Jeter Naslin. Yeah, and Marie Antoinette. I actually haven't read anything about Marie Antoinette, and I've only read one French historical fiction that's like way back. I've read World War II ones, but never ones that are a long, long time ago. So that should be fun. And this is another French one, and it is Mistress of the Revolution. So it's about people at Versailles. So not, yeah, so this is at the court of Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, but it's not exclusively about them. So then we have The Tea Rose by Jennifer Donnelly, which is in East London in 1888. And if you don't know what was happening then, Jack the Ripper was happening. And I know a lot of people on BookTube probably like Jack the Ripper from Stalking Jack the Ripper. Then our last one is another Alison Weir novel, because my grandma and I have just read a lot about the kings and queens and everything in England, and it is The Princess in the Tower by Alison Weir. And this is again a non-fiction, and it's about Edward, and is Richard the other one? I think. I have my theory. Yeah, it's Edward V and his younger brother Richard, Duke of York. And I have my theory of what happened with them. I'm not going to talk about it because spoilers for TV shows and everything. Even though, like, I don't really think you can spoil history things because it happened. But yeah, so those are all the books that I have got for, this is probably 2 months now that I think about it. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. Bye!